Welcome back to the Pioneer Sideline. We have a lot of good stuff going on this week. We're going to talk about a lot about basketball this week. We will not be just talking about Point Park basketball. We will also be getting into NCAA basketball too. Then we will be going to have a roundtable with some of our reporters, and they are some lovely ladies. So are you guys ready to head on down to the Pioneer Sideline? Welcome to the Pioneer Sideline. I'm your host, Kyle Anthony. We will start off talking to Alex Martage, who would tell us if the men's team was able to pick up a big win this past weekend.
The Point Park men's basketball team has had a season that has been full of ups and downs. Although they have been successful in the last couple of games, the Pioneers recently faced off against struggling crosstown foe Carlo. The Pioneers won the KIAC conference match 102-71. The Pioneers once again were led on offense by Jeremy Williams and Kelvin Goodwin. Kelvin Goodwin stole the show, posting a double-double and being the game leader for points with 24 and 10 assists, as the team held Carlo to shooting just 40% from the field. The Pioneers continued their dominance in quite a different fashion as they took on Indiana East this past Saturday and won in a close one 70-68. In their previous matchup this season, IU defeated the Pioneers 78-74, but the Pioneers learned from their mistakes in the past and won in a close one. This game was a defensive struggle though, one where the Pioneers were led once again by Kelvin Goodwin, who stole the show. Goodwin played the entire game 40 minutes long, posting his second straight double-double with 16 points and 10 rebounds, but had the highlight of the game as he blocked an IU East shot with 2 seconds remaining in the game that would have tied the match. Tonight, they will try to string together their third consecutive win as they travel to Ohio Christian, as the teams played twice this season, and the Pioneers lost in the last one 86-82. Following tonight, the Pioneers will have 5 more matches before they enter KIAC conference tournament play.
Now, Alex, how big have these past 2 wins been for the team?
Well, Kyle, it's getting towards the end of the season. I think that, whenever you start to get on a hot streak, it really means a lot, especially whenever you get to the end of the season. And we just can only hope that this dominance will continue as they enter the tournament.
Now, we know who the 2 big scorers on this team are. Who needs to be the third piece of this puzzle?
Well, Kyle, I think it could be any number of the big men. I think that, Kelvin Goodwin and Jeremy Williams have obviously been 2 of the stars for the team throughout the season. But it's hard to say right now because the team has just been so inconsistent throughout the season, and I don't think that there's an answer right now.
Thanks, Alex. Next, we will go over to the women's basketball team who's looking to get one of their famous win streaks. And Mike Turk will tell us everything we need to know.
Thanks, Kyle. The Point Park women's basketball team was back in action this week when they faced off against 2 KIAC opponents. They first battled crosstown rival Carlo last Tuesday night. The Pioneers had the hot hands in the first half, shooting 8 for 14 from three-point land to build a 34-20 lead at the half. They were clicking on both ends of the court. They held Carlo to 17% shooting during the first half. In the second half, Carlo gave Point Park a little scare when they cut the deficit within 5. But through solid shooting and making a couple of big threes late in the game, Point Park was able to hold on to beat Carlo for a 16th consecutive time by a final score of 69-54. Fast forward to this past Saturday, Point Park eyed redemption as they faced off against IU East in the game of the week. IU East beat Point Park a little over a week ago in a game Point Park shot only 29% from the field. This time around, the first half belonged to Selena DiPietro. She hit 4 threes and had 14 points at the half to contribute to a 30-26 lead for Point Park. The beginning of the second half was evenly matched as both teams scored 15 points. In the fourth quarter, that's when it started going wrong for Point Park. Their shots just would not fall. They were on the receiving end of some poor calls, and IU East finished the game on a 26-11 run to win by a final score of 67-56. Some final stats from that game include Selena DiPietro with 19 points and 5 3-pointers. Bailey Buleka contributed with a double-double, recording 10 points and 10 boards. With that loss, Point Park drops to third place in the KIAC Colonial Division with a 7-3 record. They are currently 14-7 overall this season.
Now, Mike, I'm coming straight at you with this question. What is wrong with this team?
I wouldn't say too much is wrong with this team. They lack height. Bailey Buleka is really the only player going down low. I'd say the second rebounder right now has to be little Shania Rivers, the point guard, who gets really aggressive and plays 110% every game and goes down low. But still, I wouldn't say too much is wrong with this team. Where they're at now, I don't think many of us expected to be where they are at currently.
Mike, I want to ask you this question now. Are you saying their big men, the players on their team, are soft and are cupcakes? Because I think they are.
I wouldn't say they're soft, Kyle. I say they lack depth in the down low position. Bailey Buleka gets into a little foul trouble, and then boom, we're lacking another player. The next player up down low, height-wise, would be probably Leah Hurst. And honestly, we don't see her go down low too often to go fight for a board. She likes to shoot from the outside corner a lot, so she doesn't crash the boards too often. And Carly Force, inconsistent on the boards. Yes, I will agree with you on that, but they just need a little more depth at the center position.
Boom goes the dynamite. Thank you, Mike Turk. When we return, we'll be doing a recap of both basketball teams' seasons so far, and then we will see where they're going in the mid-season roundtable.
We are a social people. We share our inspiration, wisdom, creations, and memories. We share what makes us laugh and what angers us. Built on the notion of a free flow of ideas, our country thrives on the freedom of speech. Without it, who would watch over our governing powers? And how would we share our history to make a difference for the future? It's this freedom to share that gives us a reason to listen.
Start your morning with City News.
Start your morning with campus news.
Start your morning with political coverage.
Start your morning with fun.
Start your morning with us, only on Daybreak.
Did you know that Point Park has a cheerleading squad?
Don't get it confused.
Not only do our cheerleaders represent Point Park at regional and national competitions, but they also promote spirit and awareness of every sports team on campus. Come to any men's or women's varsity basketball game at home to watch the cheerleaders perform at halftime and cheer from the sidelines from the first jump ball to the final buzzer. Sports not your thing? You can catch the cheer team lead the crowd at the fall and spring pep rallies as well, or at several competitions around Pittsburgh each year. So what are you waiting for? Show the Point Park cheerleaders the support they show you.
We know you're wondering what the A-list celebrities are up to. Well, here at Entertainment on Point, we're wondering too.
Have you heard about James Franco and Seth Rogen's new movie?
No, but have you heard Beyonce's new single? Did you see what she was wearing on that red carpet?
Honey, that was not cute.
Did you see what happened on Scandal this week?
No, I was too busy keeping up with the Kardashians. No matter what your guilty pleasure is, we've got you covered.
Entertainment on Point. Get to the point of pop culture.
Yeah!
I'm now joined by Josh Krupp, Blaine King, and Paul Daniels for a recap of the men's and women's basketball season so far. Guys, we're going to start off with the women. What are your thoughts on our season to this point?
It's been so up and down and so unpredictable, but in my opinion, I think they've done a little better than we really expected in the beginning. They lost a lot of quality talent from last year, but what, a 14-7 record so far overall this year is not something to be disappointed out with the squad that Greenwich fielded at the beginning of the year.
And I agree with you, Josh. I think that the women, they've exceeded our expectations. I thought this was going to be kind of a rough year for them, but I mean, 14-7, 7-3 in the KIAC, with third in the Colonial Division. I mean, they're not playing too bad at all.
And they're competitive. And I think going into this season, that's all you could really ask for with the loss of Kelly Johnson and Sam Weir. And they face adversity, and they've overcome it up to this point.
Yeah, and this is great coaching effort on the part of Coach Grenick. He knew he was going to come into the season with a loss of great talent that he lost from last year. And, I mean, they're hanging around.
Now, but what's wrong with this team? I mean, this is a Point Park women's basketball team who's third in their own league.
They're young still. Your person running the point is a freshman.
You can't use that as an excuse.
Yeah. I think you can in this one, especially coming in from last year, losing everybody.
But whose fault is that on Grenick for not recruiting well? If it is their depth.
I mean.
What was that? It's talent.
Yes, and the talent that they have on the team, they're role players. He doesn't have that one person. I mean, we can see Caitlin Smith. She is kind of stepping up to that person to rely on.
If you can recruit a girl who scored 1,000 points in high school, I don't think that's something
to
be disappointed
Her conference is terrible. I went to her high school.
The point is that Bailey Buleka and Caitlin Smith are still young. Buleka's not great defensively, and she's the only one they have down low.
Yeah.
You had down low presence last year, but they're not back this year, and that's not a fault of recruiting.
But where are the people that have been there? You have Carly Force, a DePietro, a Zanakis. You have people that have been there who know the kind of basketball he wants to play.
Again, they're role players. They're not, especially Zanakis. I mean, we know she likes coming off the bench, and I mean, her starting is kind of throwing her game off. You have Carly Force down low. Yes, she can be a presence, but then she's not that person that's going to take over. And DePietro, she's doing her best. She's starting to score a lot, and she's now third on the team in scoring with 9.8 a game. So, I mean, that's all we can do is hope.
They lost that star player last year and that go-to player, Kelly Johnson. That's hard to recover from any team. So, I mean, it's tough. This is a rebuilding year. We said that going in, and they're doing okay so far.
But can this rebuilding year turn into more, Paul, and turn into maybe a deep conference run? Does this team have the makeup to win the conference, get a bid to nationals?
Well, they've been very competitive. 7-3 is respectable in the KIC, third in their division. I mean, if they get hot, yeah, they could. It's just going to take some leadership.
They've been competitive in these games when it comes down to finishing. They could have beat IU East and taken over second place, but the fourth quarter, they just didn't show up. And it's those types of games that are going to make or break this team. If we started the conference tournament today, I would say no, they're not going to win the conference tournament.
I would agree. And, I mean, it's going to take some time. And usually a Coach Grenick team catches fire, and it's at the beginning of the season, but it hasn't happened yet. Hopefully it happens towards the end. But like Josh, you said, they should have beat IU East this past game. And, I mean, they beat the best team in the conference in Rio Grande, so that has to show something.
All right, you guys had some very good insight there. Now we're going to switch over to the other side of the court with the men's team. Paul, I want you to start. Early opinions on this team.
Well, going into the season, we thought, they were going to be a top team in the KIC. They haven't been that yet. They're 4-6, 11-9 overall, and so far it's been a disappointing year. But they could turn it around with their last 6-7 games in the season with the KIC, and that last game on Saturday looked pretty good.
Yeah, they had a big win against IU East, their first against them all year. They've played IU East competitive all season anyway. The men, yes, I have to agree with Paul. We had high expectations, and they did not meet those expectations. Yes, there's still time, though, that they can catch fire like last year and make a deep tournament run. This team has been competitive, though, and, I mean, the one thing they're going to have to do is play defense.
I think that's not going to happen. I think our expectations were a little different. I didn't have the highest expectations for them. You had no presence down low. You lost Alan Heater and Barry Smith. We had no idea who Calvin Goodwin was going to be. Yeah, he was a great player at Slippery Rock. He's been a great scorer. So is Jeremy Williams. Where's the rest of the team? Yeah. Fusini Kanate finally showed up the other night. He was the KIAC Player of the Week last week.
And speaking about that, this goes back to a last year thing where they were kind of mediocre going to this point, and they started to get hot in the KIAC tournament. It wasn't that they were winning every game at the end of the regular season, but they were getting more and more competitive. Is that what we're seeing? Is the pot stirring and more of these role players stepping up?
Exactly. Yeah. That's exactly what I think it is. I mean, last year we saw Alan Heater and Barry Smith really step up towards the end. Jeremy Williams was doing it all. Now we see Jeremy Williams and Calvin Goodwin putting up 50 every night. And this past game at IU East, the best team in the conference, maybe besides Rio Grande, they kind of took a backseat and Fusini stepped up. If Saeed Allen's coming off the bench and putting up 10 every night, and you have Fusini stepping up and doing some good work on the boards and putting up 20 points a night, I don't think there's a reason that this team can't be competitive in every game down the stretch.
You're right about that. And, yeah, I don't see any reason why this team can't be competitive at all. But, like I said, they got to play defense. That's not going to happen. So what else do they have to do? Move the ball around, because you can move the ball around and somebody's going to be open eventually.
We'll see what happens come KIC tournament time. But you know, if they play like they did on Saturday, they can do great things in the KIC.
Well, Paul, thank you for setting me up for a nice segue. What do you think they'll do at the end of the season? Do you think we'll see another miracle run, or are we going to see a crash and burn?
I see right now a fair perspective would be middle of the pack. They win a game or two and then end up losing. But that's just an opinion.
Josh Krupp, I want you to go next, buddy.
It all depends. I mean, Saturday's game was great after they came back from down 2 touchdowns.
Definitive answer, Josh. No tippy toes. Definitive answer.
Middle of the pack, yes. Can they make it? I don't think.
Lane.
They'll be in the middle of the pack, but I think they'll go down after in the second round.
I love the optimism, boys. Thanks, guys. When we get back, we will be talking NCAA basketball with some of our other talented reporters.
Here at the Pioneers Sideline, we get freshmen involved as quickly as possible so they get the real-world experience on air and behind the scenes to set themselves apart in internships and potential jobs. Blaine, where is that video? I needed it in Key Pro like yesterday.
All right, I got you, Chris. But I had a quick question for you guys.
What do you mean the questions? It's always a question. It's always a... What? Where is he? Blaine. 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 Freshman, you can't find any good ones anymore.
Ever wanted to be behind the mic and have the world listening to your show on campus? Well, it's just as simple as joining WPPJ, Point Park's student-run radio station, located on the second floor of Lawrence Hall, right next to the dining services. Listeners can tune in using Point Park's website or through the TuneIn app by searching WPPJ. WPPJ welcomes any new DJs that want to get involved, so be heard. Do you have what it takes?
Welcome back, and now joining me alongside Blaine King is Trevor Sheets. Time to talk some NCAA basketball. Guys, is there a top team in the NCAA this year?
I think there is. It's a team that isn't necessarily top ranked right now. They're actually sitting at number 2. It's North Carolina Tar Heels. Probably one of the most complete teams, only 2 losses in the season, both losses to good opponents, and all 5 players average double digits for them.
I have to agree with you. I would say no, but North Carolina is the most complete team that I've seen. 2 losses, came very close to UNI and Texas. UNI was lost by 4 points, and Texas was by 2 points. But yeah,
all
North
without
Carolina.
Marcus Page, which is the key.
And both were legitimate road games. They weren't just random courts, or it was an actual at Texas, at UNI.
Yeah, two teams that are tough.
I agree, but I also can't discount the University of Oklahoma. Buddy Hield and that team, they're playing some excellent basketball right now. All right, guys, now we're going to go to the top team from last year, who was the other disappointment when it came tournament time. You guys know from our bracketology.
No, I didn't pick them to go far.
What's wrong with Kentucky, guys?
I mean, I think it's just a product of, not every year are you going to get 10 guys that are all going to be able to go to the draft the next year. It's just, it's not the way it works. This freshman class is pretty weak, except for if you listen to ESPN about Ben Simmons. But just overall, the freshman class is weak, which means Kentucky inherently is going to be weak.
Well, Blaine, now to you, could it also be because they're too raw? They have too much raw talent. They don't really all have a position. They're all just you're all shooting guards.
Yes, but again, like Trevor said, you're not going to every year going to recruit 10 players to be NBA starters. That's just not going to happen every year, and this is the year that Kentucky's going to struggle. I mean, they're 15-4, and we're acting like this is the end of the world. But
they're still going to win
to Auburn.
They're going to win the SEC though.
Yeah.
Who's going to beat them? South Carolina.
You're too optimistic. All right, is there a negative that not having that surefire #1 team?
No, because you know why? Because you don't know who's going to win the tournament now.
You're smarter than ESPN.
Yeah, I think this year is going to be one of the most fun NCAA tournaments we've seen in a long time because I'm not saying it's going to happen, but May this year, 16 beats to 1. This is that kind of year.
And no, this is the year I think that an unexpected team is going to make a huge run to the Final Four.
Segue, best conference.
I mean, I hate to be a little bit of a homer, but I think it's the ACC. I think they have the most depth and like I said, the best team in the country.
BK.
I was going to go with the Big East, but now I did some research and I'm going with the Big Ten. Because you see, Indiana, they're 17-3. You got Iowa, 16-3. Maryland, 17-3. Even though I know, Kyle, you think that they're a little overrated. You got Michigan, who's 15-5. Purdue, 17-4. Michigan State, Ohio State, Wisconsin, Nebraska, even Northwestern. Besides Penn State and I forgot.
Not Northwestern. Come on.
Well, they're 15-5. I got to give them some leeway.
What about the Big 12, guys?
See, I feel
Iowa
like
State.
That's
Kansas.
every year we talk about the Big 12, and
there's
they're a big
4
disappointment.
teams that are good
Yes.
in the Big 12, and the rest are awful. There's no parity in the middle of that.
Yes.
All right. Dark horse team to maybe make a deep run in the tournament and get a higher seed than they should.
A dark horse team, if I have to say, I don't know. I'm going to go with Tom Izzo. I'm going to say Michigan State.
See, for me, there's 2 teams, I think. One that could legitimately have a deep run is Xavier. It's a team that no one's talking about, a team that's having a great season in the Big East. But a team that I think could be fun and might make a little bit of noise, Hawaii.
Okay.
Providence. Chris Dunn, the player of the year. I don't care about Ben Simmons. Get rid of him. Chris Dunn is carrying a great team.
I will say this, though, along the lines of the Big East, one of those Big East teams are going to make a run. I'm not saying it's going to be Villanova, Providence. It's going to be one of those teams.
Best mid-major.
You want me to take this? Or
go for it.
I'm going to go with Valpo.
Valpo?
Yeah, I'm going to take Valpo. They're in it every year, the tournament every year. And
I can dig it. It's the best mid-major.
Yeah.
I mean, I got burned by the entire state of Iowa last year, but
don't do it.
Hey, you know what? They beat the team that I think is the best team in the country, UNI.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Guys,
we were high on them last year.
What about the Dancing All-Stars? The best team in the mid-majors, Monmouth. Come on.
They're going to be entertaining. They're going to be entertaining.
If they make the tournament.
Yeah, that's it.
It's not guaranteed they're even going to make the tournament.
Yeah.
No, I think this year, I don't think the best mid-majors are going to reveal themselves till we see where they actually get matched up with. Because Montana usually puts out a half-decent team. You see a lot of these teams getting repeated. I think it might be a team even from the NEC. So, we'll see. Thanks, guys. After the break, I'm joined by some of the ladies of UU for a roundtable of the Pioneer Reporters.
If you're having trouble with your schoolwork this semester, there's a helpful place on campus that you should know about. On the 7th floor of Lawrence Hall is the Program for Academic Success, which provides services like tutoring and academic counseling. The program's Writing Center is specifically designed to help you with your writing assignments, and you can even get help for them online. Students are encouraged to stop in the office, give a call, or send an email.
Every human being has a purpose, has a dream to have their voices heard, no matter where they come from, no matter where they go. As an American, it is their right to have freedom of speech. I have a dream that one day this message will speak louder than words, that even the quietest voice will not go unnoticed. That is my dream. What is yours? For more information, visit www.freedomofspeechpsa.org.
welcome back to the Pioneer Sideline. This is our first ever all-female reporter episode. I'm joined by the lovely ladies of Aubrey Hankin, Brittany Loffer, and the birthday girl, Ashley Cordini. All right, guys, is Cam Newton MVP? Brittany, you start.
He's a sack master. Sorry, Kyle, I had to. Old memories.
Old memories.
But no, he's doing, I think he definitely deserves it. They're 15-1. They're doing a great job. They're on a great run right now. I don't see why he shouldn't get it. I mean, especially in this upcoming game, we're going to see how he does against Denver Broncos, Peyton Manning.
There you
Sorry, they're brothers. They're
the same person. It's fine.
What about you, Miss Sports Guru?
You know who I think. I think Cam should. He's had a great season. He hasn't really had a bad game yet. His worst game, he didn't even throw an interception in it. And the other one would be Carson Palmer, and we all saw how he played this past weekend.
But Tom Brady.
I won't even address Tom Brady. No way.
All right,
I just have distinct feelings about Tom Brady.
We're going over the real genius
Yeah.
here.
Oh, goodness, real genius. Okay, well, I do believe that Cam Newton should be MVP because, as Ashley mentioned, the other option was pretty much Carson Palmer. But Carson Palmer played poorly against Cam, and he also played poorly against Seattle. So, I mean, I feel like Cam Newton is the obvious choice.
All right, ladies, what's wrong with the Penguins besides for they're just not that attractive?
Yeah, Sydney.
Starting with the lady
But he's
in
not
red.
being a leader.
No.
Yeah, what Brittany said.
You're a genius. I take back everything I've ever said.
But yeah, like what Brittany said, I think that the biggest issue with the Pens right now is that they just have poor leadership skills. And they're so focused on getting big name talent that they're not just focusing on the team that they already have.
Yeah, teared my eyes.
They don't take advantage of their power plays. Turnovers, it's just a mess. They have no leadership. The whole team's just falling apart.
Somebody took us a little bit too seriously. All right, guys. Oh, you already said leadership, but you can go again, Miss Queen Bee.
I was just saying, I was talking with you and I said, I can't even watch a game this season because they're so bad. You even said, oh,
I agree.
It's a great point.
It's ugly. I think it's hurt my eyesight. All right, guys. What's the hottest couple in sports? Starting with you.
Beckhams. They got their own lines of clothing and
They have
perfume,
gorgeous little children.
and yeah, the little adorable ones running around, and then they're just looking fabulous at their age. They're rocking it.
The Currys. The Currys are family goals. I love them, without a doubt.
Their daughter is just...
She's the cutest thing.
so adorable.
She's so cute.
And his wife is a very attractive woman.
Fair enough.
It helps.
You.
It helps.
I also agree that the Currys and their little children are adorable. That was also my pick. They're
Guys,
perfect.
D. Wade and Gabrielle Union, the power couple, they make that bank. All right, guys. Now, who is the hottest player in sports? No, I know you guys might all have more than one, but who are the top candidates, ladies?
Who's starting?
Oh, any of you guys can start.
I say Eric Decker.
Oh, Jesse James's husband.
You sure you don't want to have more than one pick?
I say Eric Decker. Who do you think? Tell us, Kyle.
Oh, I'll go last. I'll do you all. Miss Queen?
I'm just gonna keep going with my Beckham streak. I mean, he is chiseled. Like, I'm sorry, I'm into soccer players.
She has a thing for soccer players.
It's my
It's all about the
weakness.
butt.
It's the butt. He has a great little perky butt. Want to squeeze it?
H&M commercials?
Oh my gosh!
Yes, the H&M commercial.
And his undies. Ooh. They did a good job marketing.
What about you, Miss Lady in Red?
I have to be true to my 2008 self and say that my sports crush is Chase Utley of the Phillies when they were good. They're no longer, he's still fine, but 2008 Chase Utley is.
That's the
where
good
it's
one.
at,
You
yeah.
sure you don't want to go Ricky Fowler? I heard he's really popular in
Ricky
your household.
Ricky Fowler is good as well. He wears orange very nicely.
Who's
Better
your pick?
than
Ronaldo?
Well, I have a lot. We'll start with Lindsey Vonn. She got rid of Tiger. She's a genius. Then we'll go to Skylar Diggins. Beautiful. She got rid of Wheezy, which makes you even better.
Alex
And-
Morgan?
That's my final
When's he
answer.
going to bring up Rhonda?
Oh, sorry, I ruined
Ronda
it. I ruined
Rousey,
it.
gorgeous, and
But
of
Ronda
course,
Rousey doesn't have a nice personality.
I don't care.
She's a man.
She is a man.
And she
a
does a lot
man.
for charity, so she's a very good person. And Alex Morgan.
I
Enough
applaud.
said.
I applaud on
Alex
that one.
Morgan.
I'm glad you all
100%.
agree. All right. Ladies, you actually went through the roof, through my expectations. You guys are just the best. I might have to have you guys on next week and maybe the week after. All right, so that will do it for this week's episode. So everyone, please make sure to tune in because maybe you'll see these lovely ladies again at the same Pioneer time, the same Pioneer channel, and of course, the same Pioneer sideline.